I believe Shakur Stevenson's contract is nearing its end, and hopefully we can come together to elevate him to the next level. When this happens, it's going to be the biggest boxing fight in the world. What do you all think about the potential weight classes? Maybe 147, 140, hell no, 135, 35 to 40? I'm not sure, but I can see it happening not too far in the future. It seems that Tanker signed his contract, and I'm planning to sign mine too, so it's like we're all set. Shakur Stevenson has reportedly signed with Mayweather Promotions and has called out Gervonta Tank Davis for a fight later this year. Everyone is eager for this boxing match to materialize, and there's no reason it shouldn't happen. Both fighters are prominent names in the sport today. Granted, Tanker might hold a slightly higher status, but Shakur is right on his heels. If there's a gun to your head, when are we going to see the Shakur versus Tank Davis showdown? There's only one fight that truly stands out, especially when considering skill and all-around boxing ability. We're not talking about someone who just has a good jab, we're discussing comprehensive boxing prowess. Yes, boxing. In my opinion, it's the biggest fight in the world, Tank versus Shakur. Davis Stevenson, the network-born southpaw, is also a lightweight champion, making a unification bout even more logical. Nonetheless, Davis has expressed some reservations about the potential showdown. Shakur is set to make his ring return next week, nearly 6 months after clinching his third world championship title. This interim period has been anything but dull, marked by his surprising announcement of retirement. Meanwhile, Tank Davis has wrapped up another successful title defense. Stevenson recently had an in-depth conversation with renowned boxing journalist Kevin Iy, where they inevitably discussed Tank's remarks during the post-fight press conference for the Frank Martin bout in 2007. The Nayat Fair Award was presented to the WBC lightweight champion, who recently shared insights into his preparations for his upcoming title defense. The conversation touched on the wave of criticism he encountered following his bout with Edwin Dos Santos, particularly regarding his swift defensive maneuvers, which became a significant topic of discussion. However, the main issue was that many interpreted his defensive style as running, rather than appreciating the skillful boxing techniques of a renowned defensive boxer. Among those critics was Tank Davis during the post-fight conference of his recent match. When asked for his thoughts on a potential matchup with Stevenson, Davis responded, "You know how it would go. Everybody in this room knows how it would go." He later acknowledged that a bout between them would be beneficial for the sport. Kevin Iy began by expressing his deep admiration for Shakur Stevenson, noting that he considers Stevenson to be at the pinnacle of the P4 rankings. Despite this high regard, Iy was curious to hear Stevenson's response to Tank Davis's recent comments. Kevin said, "Tank was the one that said it. It wasn't him as a boxing writer or some other fan or other boxing writer, so that's one of Shakur's people." Tank fired back, claiming that Davis might have spoken in that way because he was rather casual. Shakur stated that everyone needs to be honest, and that when we look at him, only then can we truly understand. Moreover, Shakur elaborated that Davis's remarks might stem from his limited understanding of boxing rather than indicating a low boxing IQ. However, Davis was the one who said it, and Shakur continued, "He's a casual. You have to be honest when we look at him and really understand that he could be a special boxer, but doesn't really have the IQ, and I'm not going to say IQ, but like boxing knowledge." He then provided an example referencing Isaac Cruz and Rolando Romero. Before their match, Davis predicted Romero's victory, having previously faced both fighters. Davis likely believed Romero was at the edge due to his superior strength, and confidently stated that Rolando Romero would deliver a knockout to Pitbull Cruz. Shakur highlighted that these viewpoints need to be recognized for what they are, only informal beliefs. He said that Davis's opinion was casual, however, someone well-versed in boxing would realize that Isaac Cruz would not have let Romero get away with it so easily. In my mind, how I look at him is he's a talented, special fighter with God-given abilities, but as far as boxing knowledge and all that, like I watched him. He fought Rolando Romero and Isaac Cruz before the fight. When they were fighting each other, he picked Rolando Romero to win because of his power. And that's what he basically said, Rolando is going to knock him out because he's stronger. But that's a casual opinion. You really think about it, it's a casual opinion. It wasn't a trick question or hard to pick for the trained eye. Shakur continued, explaining how casual conversations flow, saying, Tank Davis's brain is a good fighter, but he's a casual. So yeah, of course he's going to say what the casual says. He reads the tweets and listens to the casual fans and the uncultured casual. He described Davis as someone who closes pressure and stands right in front of you, not moving out of the way of the power. He's going right to it stylistically. It's a no-brainer fight. If you know boxing, you know Pitbull was going to do that to Rolando Romero. It wasn't a trick question or a hard-to-pick fight, but I'm just explaining to you like the casual and Gervonta Davis's brain. Good fighter, but he's a casual. So yeah, of course, he's going to say what the casual says. He reads the tweets and listens to the casual fans and the casual. Shakur Stevenson is anticipated to have an easy victory over Arden Haradian. Naturally, the question arises, who will be his next opponent? There are rumors about a potential bout between Davis and Vasily Lomachenko. If Tank Davis emerges victorious, he might aim to challenge Stevenson for the WBC title. However, the pressing question remains, can he truly contend with a formidable adversary like Devin Haney? Discussing Shakur Stevenson acknowledged the widespread acclaim for the WBC lightweight champion as an elite defensive boxer. However, he emphasized that the reality is he hasn't watched Haney enough to dissect and truly encapsulate his skill set. Stylistically speaking, the impending Davis-Stevenson bout promises to rank among the finest of recent memory until these two fighters face off. Distinguishing between casual fans and true boxing aficionados will remain a challenge. Meanwhile, Shakur warned against underestimating Haradian, and Kevin brought up Stevenson's upcoming free agency after his next fight. He mentioned how several promoters were eager to secure him and asked if this heightened interest was adding any extra pressure on him. In response, Stevenson explained that he is taking everything one step at a time. My main focus is July 6th because promoters wouldn't be hyping me up if I didn't perform, he said. I'll question whether Haradian's narrow defeat to Martin the previous year made him more dangerous. Later in the discussion, Stevenson responded that he is very dangerous to Yoli's query. Even the Martin bout, according to Stevenson, was very close and might have gone either way. I'm taking everything one step at a time. Pressure either buries pipes or makes diamonds. So honestly, I look at it like it is what it is. They could say whatever they wanted. At the end of the day, I still have to go out there and perform. If I go out there and lose, promoters are not going to be talking like that. So at the end of the day, the main focus is July 6th. We've got a tough fight in Aram. He got real good. Even asserts that Haradian could have won the fight if it weren't for Heron's decision to withdraw due to exhaustion in the last round. Thus, even though Shakur Stevenson has more fights than losses, Aram would have won the fight. So honestly, from what I watch, I think that he's a good fighter. He's definitely dangerous. I see him now training at top-ranked gym in Las Vegas, so he's putting himself in a type of environment to come in there, and he is the overwhelming favorite heading into the match. The Newark native believes that he is a good fighter and definitely dangerous. Stevenson responded with strong rebuttals, saying, Hell no, wow, 'cause he's a good boxer, he challenged. Show me something that he did. Show me something outrageous. Show me his power. Not outrageous. His what? Defense? You think he's got defense? He just jumped. You never see him slip a punch. Never. You never see him slip a punch. Go look at it. You see him back up from a lot of people. Back up, move around, move around. He doesn't have any technique, and his offense is the same thing. If you go look at his fights, you see him hold, but you feel like it's easy work. Come on, bro. He continued, I touched him with 6-16-ounce gloves on, and he ran. Imagine if I hit him with 8 ounces. The guy already shared his opinions about losing out on 2 significant bouts that may have elevated his career. He said, look, your beef is not with Floyd Mayweather. You're sitting here beefing with Floyd. It's a fighter out here that's been calling your name. I want to fight you, Gervonta. Tank Davis, let's make the fight happen, man. I'm tired of tweeting. I'm tired of talking about it. Stop messaging me and let's make the fight happen, man. Come on, guys. The two fighters are poised to deliver an electrifying match. Tank Davis is known as the biggest puncher at 135, with Gervonta Davis being the most skillful fighter at 135, undoubtedly Shakur Stevenson. the discussion shifted to what makes Stevenson stand out. "What is it about him?" someone asked. "Because I know he has a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?" The response was, "Well, it's really all about skills." Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He wants to fight the best they got out there. He's asking if he can fight the best, and he's going to get every one of these guys that y'all say are the top guys. Trust me, Shakur is going to get that work. He's asking for it. But it isn't what he thinks it is. I can't wait for it to happen, though. Town's comments suggest a belief in Davis's ability to handle Stevenson's challenge, emphasizing that Stevenson may not fully understand the magnitude of what he's pursuing. This statement underscores the confidence and strategic planning that typically characterize Davis's approach to his fights. How confident are you that Tank could be fighting someone like Devin Haney or Shakur? Al Lomachenko next? Do you see that kind of fight happening for Tank? All these guys who you say are the top guys out there, Tank is going to get every one of these guys. He just can't fight them all in one night. He didn't already get Ryan Garcia out the way. To conclude, the anticipation around the Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis fight is palpable. Both fighters bring unique strengths to the ring, and their clash could redefine the lightweight division. Shakur's defensive prowess and Tank's punching power set the stage for a memorable showdown. As contracts are being signed and promoters are lining up, the boxing world eagerly awaits confirmation of this monumental fight. The skills, strategies, and personalities of both fighters promise a bout that fans won't want to miss. Whether it's the most skillful fighter or the biggest puncher, this fight has the potential to captivate audiences worldwide and elevate both athletes to new heights in their careers.